So one of the best features that we like with Darkroom Booth is the ability to be able to handle chroma keying properly. So this is a feature that we often leverage to upsell to our customers. So the first template that we're releasing for Darkroom Booth is our green screen mix and match template. I'm going to be going over 4 sections on this tutorial. First will be the installation of our template. Second is how to enable the template for an event. Third is replacing the photos that came with our template for the screen images. And then lastly, replacing the photos that came with the template for the photo layout images. I downloaded a copy of the trial version on this computer. If you have not tried Darkroom software, I would suggest you download the trial version. It's available from their website at darkroomsoftware.com, so you can see for yourself how good the software is. Now for the installation, after you purchase and download the file from our website, you will receive something like this, which is a compressed file. So go ahead and unzip that file by right-clicking and then extract, and save it where you can remember how to get to it, and then click extract. In this case, I'm saving it on my desktop. So it creates a folder on my desktop with the same file name, and inside that folder there are 3 files: the install screen and the install template. Go ahead and double click on install screen. And one thing to note, you need to have admin privilege to your computer, so you'll be prompted to enter it. And then click install and click close. And you'll be doing the same thing for install template.exe. And click close. So that's pretty much it. All you have to do in regards to installing our template. And in order to verify if it did install successfully, go ahead and open up Darkroom Booth. And when you open up Darkroom Booth, it creates a virtual X drive. So what you would do is open up Windows Explorer and navigate over to the X drive. Go into boot screens, and there should be a file called pba_gs_mixmatch, and go back to X again, and then go into boot templates, and there should be 2 files in here: the pba_gs mixmatch 1 photo layout, and then the other one is the 3 strip layout. So I'll be going over just the 1 photo layout on this tutorial because the concept is the same. Either you have 1 or 2 or 3 photos, it will be the same concept. So I'll only go over the one photo. So that's pretty much it as far as installing our template on Darkroom Booth. So now we're going to be going over how do you enable the template for an event. So same way that you would set up an event, you will either duplicate an existing event, or you would right click here and then create a new event and give it a file name. I'll just call this PBA green screen mix match demo, and then click OK. So we're going to be doing the 1 photo layout. So from the main tab, you would click on choose, and then select the newly installed PBA_GS mix match 1 photo template. Like I said, the 3 photo strips is here as well. So, but we'll select on the 1 photo and then click choose, and it'll tell you that the number of photos per session is wrong, so you can just go ahead and click yes for it to resolve. So now you have 1 photo per session because that's all it's going to be doing, and the print photo is currently set to 2x6. The template is 4x6, so let's go ahead and select that, and we only need one copy. Now let's go into the Screens tab, and nothing is selected here, so you would go ahead. You may have something in here from previous event, but I don't have one set. So what you'll do is click on Choose, and then select the newly installed PBA GS Mix Match screen template. So click Choose, and there you go. So one other thing that we recommend you do is go over to the Text tab and clear out the Attract text. Also clear out your Start text and clear out the End text. You can leave the Get Ready text, or you can also take it out, but we like to put one in that says Get Ready. That's basically it as far as installing and enabling the template for an event. So with this setting, you can actually go ahead and start using the photo booth. The only thing is it would have the backgrounds that came with our template, and then also the overlay that we've created as an example. What your guest will be doing is select from the background first, and you guys are welcome to also use these photos. These are photos that I took when we went to Europe this summer. And once they pick the background they like, they can go on the right hand side and pick the frame that they want. So I'll pick the third one, the fourth one, or I can go with no frame. So it's just the background. And then click Start to get started. So that's it. So now let's go over replacing the photos on the screen images. So you would go back to the Screens tab, and you would click on Edit, and you can see here that there are single images for each of these thumbnails. And same thing with the overlay. Those are one image each. The live view background, which is this one here, it's only one image, but it's running a graphic list. So within the graphic list, you can have multiple images inside that object. And let me just point something out. This confuses a lot of people, and this is something that I actually learned from a video that Darkroom booth produced earlier on. So this is one thing important to remember when you're working on graphic list. This would be the name of the graphic list, which is called background, and I'll point it out later on. And the numbers here are the order that the graphic would appear on the list. And then here would be the name of the graphic file. And basically here I just wrote down what the photo is about. So this is Bruges, Belgium, which is the first image here, and then Brussels, the second one, and so on. So let me go ahead and show you how the graphic lists are configured. So double click the live view background image, and you can see here it's graphic list is selected, and within the graphic list there are 4 different images in it. And if I click on Edit, you can see here the name of the graphic list, which is background, and I have all the 4 images that I installed for this particular graphic list, which is called background. So in your case, you will be replacing the background images. So what you will do here is just remove the ones that I already have installed, And let me go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and add, I'm going to be adding the same one. So same one, here's BG1, which is the Bruges photo. And then I'll add the second one, and the third, and the last one. So you can see here, they're listed again in the order that I want them to appear on the list, and I'm basing it based on their name number. So it's important to remember the name file for the order that it appears on the list. So that's why we're recommending you name the file name or the image with the same order that you want it to appear. Hopefully that's clear. So we'll click on OK here, and then OK. So, and you'll be doing the same thing for the foreground as well. So the foreground is here, and again you can see it's the graphic list, and within that graphic list there are 5 files. FG5 PNG is basically a blank PNG file. So when your guests select the no frame, it would still have a frame on it. The only thing is it's blank. So technically it still has an overlay. It's just that your guest doesn't know and doesn't see it. So I'm not going to go through changing the foreground here, but it's basically the same as what we've done in changing the background. So I'll just click cancel here. So now we're going to be replacing the thumbnails for the background first, as it coincides with the display that comes out on the live view. The thumbnails are basically just buttons with commands, and it's just telling the live view which background to display. So let's go ahead and click on the first background thumbnail, and I just upload an image here, bg1.jpg. It's the same file that I use for the background. You can do that, or you can select any file with the same image and smaller image, so it loads quicker. And one thing that's important to note here, the booth command has to be checked, and what the command is doing is, let's go ahead and click edit, and it's picking, it's running graphic list, and it's picking from the background graphic list, and it's picking the first one on that list. So basically here's your graphic list, and this is the number 1 index, which is the order on the list, and what it would display is what image we saved on that list, which is bg1.jpg. So hopefully I'm not confusing everyone with this. So we'll take a look at the let's make sure that this is checked. And then let's make sure we look at the second one as well, and bg2.jpg, and boot command is checked, and then again it's running the graphic list background, and then now this is selecting number 2 to display, and so on. So we'll look at this one as well, bg3.jpg, and then graphic list, and then it's the background graphic list, and it's the third item on that list, which is bg3.jpg. Alright, so hopefully that's clear. That's pretty much the hardest thing to remember. This is actually something that I saw from a demonstration from the Darkroom YouTube channel. So so you can take a look at that. It's something that they've done a while back, but it's still very helpful in terms of getting you through this. Now, same concept applies for the overlay. So the overlay images are here, and I'm going to go and select all of them. And all those 5 thumbnails. So I'm going to open up the first one. And this one here, I did not use the same image that I used for the overlay image on the live view, because it's a PNG file, and with the PNG file and you have transparency, it's going to look like a black background here with the frame. So I prefer something that's white, and then I can see a little bit of what the frame looks like. So I created a JPEG similar to that image. So I have the FG1 here, and same thing applies. The boot command, the graphic list foreground, and then it's the first one on the list, which is, if we look at our cheat sheet, this is the graphic list, and the first one on the list is fg1.png, which is this graphic. So same thing applies for the rest of the thumbnails. All right. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to go over all the other images. The other thing you wanted to change, you can change the your website. You can put in your website link, or you can completely remove them by deleting it. I like to have mine on there, just so it's some sort of advertisement as well. And you can also change the end instruction, but it's this one here that says thank you. So you can replace this with whatever you want. You can say thank you. You can exit the booth now, or something to that effect. All right. So after you make all your changes, go ahead and save it, or you can do a save as if you want to save it as a different file and you don't want to modify the template that we provided. So just in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and click save. So that's pretty much it as far as modifying the screen template that we provided and putting in the images that you want to use for your event. Now the next and the last item on this tutorial would be replacing the photos on the layout images. So in that case, you would go over to the main tab and click on choose, and then highlight the layout that we provided, which is the PVA GS Mix Match 1 photo, and click on edit. So from here, it's the same concept also applies in terms of using the graphic list. So with the background image, you will be selecting the same one. So if we click on edit here, and you can see again that it's the background graphic list is associated here, and then you have BG1 in the first order, and then BG2 is the second, and then so on. So you'll be doing the same thing. You will be removing the backgrounds that we provided and then replacing them with your images. And again, this should tie into the same order and same images that you have on your screen template that we've modified. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel here, and then cancel here, and then you'll be doing the same thing for the foreground images. And again, it's a graphic list, and if you click on edit, it will be your foreground graphic list, and again it coincides with the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the order. And then number 1 is fg1.png, and then fg2.png. So, and then again, the last one would be the blank PNG. So that's basically it. If you have any question, I hope I didn't confuse anyone. It's something that's a lot to take on, but once you get it, it's really pretty easy to understand. I mean, once you understand it, it's really pretty easy to implement. So if you have any question regarding this template, just send us an email at info@photobooth-addons.com, or you can post it on our Facebook page. Just search for Photobooth Add-ons on Facebook, and we also will be announcing there first any releases that we have coming up, as far as template or as far as other products that we have in terms of enhancing your photo booth software. Right. So again, had fun, and let me know if you have any questions.